thumb. So you start pressing your pelvis up and forwards. So we're starting to get an opening down the front of the thigh. How's that feeling, Marty? Nice opening? That's it. So again, we're just starting to open the front line of the body here, which is going to help us when we go into our swan dive later. Double check that your lower back feels okay. And then on your next breath, releasing your pelvis down, and then slowly start walking yourself all the way forward again, and returning yourself onto all fours. Taking your right hand, stretch it out to the side, and then threading the needle all the way through. Resting head, resting shoulder, and once you feel that you're in a comfortable position, slide the left hand all the way forward. So the focus here is getting mobility through the thoracic spine, but also opening the arm lines, because remember we're going to have the arms overhead for the swan dive, hopefully. And this is starting to facilitate that release along the arms. Stay in for just a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, bringing that left hand back in, press up, reaching your arm all the way out, and then placing that right hand down. Left arm stretches to the side, thread the needle all the way through. Settle yourself into a comfortable rotation, and then slide the right hand forward to start opening the arm lines along that right side as well. Few more seconds here. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, bring that right hand back, pressing into the ground, reach the left arm up to the side, and then placing both hands securely underneath you. Tuck your toes under this time. Start to walk your hands backwards towards your knees. So just like we did the ankle stretch, we're now doing the toe stretch. You could stay here. If this is enough for you, you stay here. If you want to intensify it, you can walk your hands up onto your thighs. And if you want to go even further, you could bring your body upright. So find the space that works for you. That's a bit intense for me today, so I'm leaning forward slightly. Guys, it is Pilates, so you still need to use your core. Make sure you've got energy reaching through your spine. Finding that release all the way through the soles of the feet, so plantar fascia. Guys, this is connected directly into the back line of the body. Yeah? And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands all the way forward again, and then releasing the feet all the way back. Stay here. Balancing on your left hand, just walk the right fingertips forward. We're not going to do anything with the legs right now. Bring that hand just up off the floor. Turn your thumb so that it's pointing up towards the sky, so you have external shoulder rotation. Now, see if you can straighten your arm, and if that means you're going to move your arm to the side, then take your arm a little bit wider. This is giving you information about where you're going to be placing your arm later when we do our swan dive. Start lifting your thumb towards the sky and stop as soon as you feel that you are tensioning your shoulder too much, or perhaps taking strain around the shoulder joints. Maybe you have the capacity to bring your arm up in line with your ear, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Figure out your arm placement, and then bring the hand all the way down and underneath your shoulder. Center yourself, balance on your right hand, and walk the left fingertips forward. Just hover your fingertips, it's not a big lift. Turn your thumb so it's facing upwards. There's external shoulder rotation. Straighten your elbow, and if that means you take your arm to the side a little bit, then you take your arm to the side. See if you can start lifting the arm up. And guys, the one shoulder might feel very different from the other shoulder. So notice where it is. Where is your placement here? Can you find a connection into your mid-back? And then on your next breath, bringing that arm all the way down and placing the hands firmly to the ground. Tuck your toes under. Let's go into a downward facing dog. Hover your knees, move your hips back and up, and let's just start pegging the heels down. So we've already done a little bit of release for the feet. We've done a release for the front of the ankles. We've also released the quadriceps a little bit. So now we're focusing on the calf muscles down towards the Achilles tendons. Let's just take two more. One more. Place both heels down. Lengthen your spine. Feel free to soften your knees if you need. And stay here for a moment. And just notice again the placement of your arms in relation to your head, in relation to your shoulders, in relation to your spine. Do you perhaps need to walk your hand wider? Does that give you a little bit more space? Take another breath in. And then exhale. Release your knees all the way down. And please stay right here. And on your next breath, I just want you to round your spine one time up towards the side. Sit your hips back. And now there's no bouncing this time. We're just going to stay here so that you can have a lovely release across the lumbar area. Push up onto the tips of your fingers. Taking all the pressure off your wrists. Increasing that wonderful opening along the arm line, feeling it maybe under the armpit, the front of the shoulder. Taking one more breath in, and then exhale. Release hands, open your knees wide, big toes together, and once again you sit back. Bend your elbows so that you have your forearms fully connected to the ground. And then make any last second adjustments so that you can find complete ease through your body. And once again, we stay here for 5 breaths in and out. It's an opportunity once again to notice the shift that is taking place on your own body, physical and energetic. Taking one more breath in and out. And then taking time as you start walking your hands backwards towards your knees. And then move your hips over towards your right. So your feet are towards the left. Holding onto the left ankle. You guys know this. Taking yourself into a lateral flexion of the spine. Turn your head so that you're looking down. Softening through the neck and the shoulders. And just finding or noticing where you are opening along that right side body. Taking one more breath in. Release, coming all the way up. And just placing your hand a little bit behind you. Move your hand to the opposite knee, sit up nice and tall, and coming into an open twist. So we've done one rotation of the thoracic spine where you did thread the needle, but this is going to register slightly differently because we're now opening the front of the body here. Take an inhale and an exhale, and then release and coming all the way back to the front. You're going to just spin your feet out in front of you for a moment. Move your hands behind you as if you're sitting on the beach. And let's just do a little bit of circulation here. So you flex one foot as you point the other, and then alternate. Flex and point. Flex and point. So we have quite a large section of connective tissue, fascia, that is around our calf muscles. And it's actually responsible for pumping blood back to the heart. So this circulation flow is a very easy way to start moving the blood, but also moving lymph. And we just want to start working through the to make sure that when we do our swan dive, because you want to have pointed feet so you don't bash your toes, right? And a lot of people start cramping here. So let's just take a few more. Last one. And then just give your feet a little bit of a shake. Swing your feet over towards the right side, holding onto the right ankle. Left arm reaches up and coming into that lateral flexion of the spine. And again, it might feel different on that side. Turn your head, look down. It helps to release the neck and shoulders. Stay here for a moment as you breathe. Bring your head back to the center, coming all the way up. Fingertips to the ground. Right hand holds onto the left knee, sit up straight, and coming into your open twist. So it's that feeling of opening up across the heart space, lengthening up through the crown of your head. Taking one more breath in and out. And then exhale, release. Bring both legs out in front of you again. Now again, I'm just going to turn sideways so that I'm on the mat. You guys are going to be on the mat as well, giving your legs a little bit of a shake. Now, I want you to take your hands just underneath your right leg. So you're linking your hands like this underneath, and you're going to lean back. So in fact, there's very little work that's happening here. Abs connected, back extensors, just holding a little bit, and your leg doesn't have to work too much. On your next breath, start to straighten that right leg just as much as you can manage, and then bend the knee and release. So there's two things happening here. The hamstrings are lengthening, and the quadriceps at the front are working. So this might not seem connected to the exercise that we're doing, except that we do need to have the legs straight when we do the swan dive. So what we're training the brain to recognize is, when is the knee extended straight? Can you feel how much the quadriceps have to engage? Let's take two more. Abs connecting. Let's take one more. And hold. Take a little breath. And then you can bend the knee and stretch that leg all the way out. Switch over to the left side. Interlock your fingers. Find a position where you're actually almost just suspended in space. Of course, the abs are working, right? And we go. Extend the leg just as straight as you can manage. And release. And again, extend. So those of you that have done the dance conditioning classes with me, I think, Morgan, you came in on one of those. No, maybe one. Okay. So we do this sometimes in the dance conditioning, but we're super horrible because we tie a TheraBand around the ankles. And then as you straighten this top leg, it's like you're pushing up into the band. It's a lot of work around the knee, around the quadriceps. Two more. And we're going to do just one more time. Extend, hold it, double check abs connecting. Bend your knee and releasing the leg out. Bend your knees, come to sit towards the front edge of your mat. Arms extended forward, inhale to grow nice and tall. Exhale, draw your tail under, let's go all the way down onto our backs. Both hands reach straight up towards the ceiling. And then just walk your feet a little bit closer in towards you. Make any adjustments you need to your position, and then let's start to scissor the arms. So again, we're using the arm scissors, which is one of the most basic shoulder exercises you can do, just to remind yourself, elbows straight, energy through fingertips, allowing the natural glide of the scapula on the back of your ribs. So guys, when we do the swan dive and the arms are overhead, you actually need to let the scapula move out and wide on your back. We don't keep the scapula squeezed together when we take the arms overhead, which is quite important to remember so that you don't strain your neck. Notice if you have to take the arms a little bit wider here. Some people have to take them wider than the mat in order to facilitate the movement. Last two. Last one. Bring both hands straight up, interlock the fingers, hands go underneath your head, and just settle your head down for a moment. So float your elbows, stabilize your pelvis where your lower back feels good. Nod your chin. Exhale, curl the ribs forward and stay. Tilt your pubic bone towards your nose, lower abs connecting. Let your pelvis go back to neutral and let your head and shoulders go down without dropping the elbows back. And again, nod your chin, slide your ribs forward. There's the upper abs. Tilt your pelvis, release your pelvis, and lower head and shoulders all the way back. We're going to do 3 more sets. So as we come forward, we are shortening the abdominal fibers. As we tilt the pelvis, we are shortening the fibers. But now, you release, you are lengthening with control. As you lower your ribs, you are lengthening the fibers with control. Let's take 2 more sets. Chest lift. Pelvic tilt. Release, that is eccentric control. Release back, that is eccentric control. 1 more set. And chest lift. So this is reminding ourselves that we can use the abdominals to support ourselves. So even when we do our back extension, there's a sense of connecting to our core. Release all the way back, hold it, and relax. So you're going to take your arms out into a low V with palms facing up. And I want you to bring your right knee up to tabletop. Turn that knee out and cross the right ankle over. Okay, now from here, rolling your knees towards the right, look over the left shoulder. You might not be able to go all the way down, which is absolutely fine. Exhale, come back to the center using the obliques. Now you're going to roll your legs towards the left. Looking over the right shoulder. Now again, don't force it. Maybe you can get your foot down, maybe you can touch your toes. It doesn't matter if you do or not. And exhale, the obliques draw you back to the center. 1 more time each way. So this is about creating mobility through the lumbar spine, but also getting a little bit of a stretch into those lower back muscles called the quadratus lumborum. 1 more time. So this is going to help us not cramp those muscles when we go into a full extension. Exhale, come back to the center, and you hold. Now see if you can keep your arms here today. Tighten up the abs, and breathe out to see if you can pick up the left foot, gluteal stretch, and then releasing your foot down again. And let's go again. Exhale, bringing the leg up, and releasing it down. Let's do 2 more. Abs connecting. And release. 1 more time. Lift up. And releasing all the way down. Take your hands onto your right thigh. Hug that right leg in towards you, and then stretch that left leg out along the floor if you've got that flexibility to do so. Flexing that right foot, you're going to stretch the leg up. Today we're going to hold that leg there, and you're going to point the toe and flex the foot. Point the toe, flex the foot. 2 more. Point the toe, flex the foot. 1 more time. Point the toe, flex the foot, and then just relax. hug that knee all the way in towards you. And then placing that right foot to the ground with the knee bent. Bring the hands a little bit out to the side. Pick up the left knee. Turn the knee out and cross the ankle over. Stay there just for a moment. And now roll towards the left first. Look over the right shoulder. Keep the chest open, arms down. And exhale. Obliques connect to draw you back to the center. Now roll your legs over to the right. Don't force it. Find your range and feel a stretch. Exhale, back to the center. One more time, rolling your knees over towards the left. Exhale, back to the center. Last time, over towards the right. Exhale, back to the center, and you hold. Stay here. On your breath, see if you can pick up that right leg, so you're getting a little bit of a stretch into the left glute heel, and then placing that foot all the way down. Good. 3 more. Guys, if you need to, put your hands on your lower belly, because sometimes it's nice to have that tactile cue, just to make sure that your abs are connected to protect your lower back. So this is again about creating mobility around the hip joint, which is going to help us when we do our swan dive. Lift. And then placing your foot all the way down. Now put your hands around your left thigh, bringing that leg up. Slide the right leg all the way out. Flex the left foot, and then stretch that leg up. And today we're just going to stay here for a moment. And we go point and flex. And again, point and flex. 2 more. And flex. 1 more. Point and flex. Stay here. Relax that knee all the way towards you. And now stretch that leg all the way out. So guys, I'd like you to take your legs hip distance apart today with your toes pointed and bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Now, taking the arms all the way back as far as you can go without letting the ribs pop and keeping the elbows straight. We're going to roll up from here. Inhale, lifting arms, lifting head. Exhale, coming all the way forward, giving yourself that long stretch. Take a breath in and exhale, roll back. Using abdominals, keep your legs apart. And then the arms reach all the way overhead. And we go again. Inhale, lift arms, lift head. Exhale. Beautiful stretch forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll yourself back. Abdominals connecting. And reaching overhead. Let's do 2 more. So, we are mobilizing the spine. We're training ourselves to have the legs a little bit apart. We're training ourselves to keep the knees straight, to keep the elbows straight and wide. And then when you reach the arms overhead, this is pretty much our starting position, except we're in line on our backs. Last one. Exhale. Stretch over. Stay here for a moment, take a breath in. And then exhale, simply roll up into an upright seated position for a moment. And then release the arms down. Turn onto your stomachs. So from here, I want you to have your legs hip distance apart. You can have your legs in parallel, but today I would like you to walk your hands a little bit wider than your mats. Palms down. Hover the tip of your nose and just lightly engage the gluteals. You're going to lift your eyeline, and then on your breath, just come up into a little baby cobra position. Stay here for a moment. I want you to root into your hands and just push yourself up a fraction higher, not too high. Just enough that your ribs are coming off and your elbows are coming off. And then let your elbows come down and then bringing yourself all the way down. Now, this is the first test for you. Do you need to move your hands wider or more forward? If your lower back is taking strain, then please move your arms. Here we go again. Lifting up into a baby cobra. Stay here for a moment. And then pushing into your hands and coming up just a little bit higher, just enough that your ribs are coming up. Check it out. How does your lower back feel? And then bend your elbows to come down and release down. Now, if you need to move your legs wider, then please move your legs wider. Regardless of where your legs are, give me a little bit of external rotation like a ballerina. Now let's try again. Lifting eye line. First you come up into a little baby cobra and you hold it here. Now push into your hands, come up just enough that your ribs are lifting, and now you have a choice. You can stay here, or you can continue pressing up. Maybe you can straighten your elbows, maybe not. Decide how far you can go, and then bend your elbows to come all the way down. Cover the tip of your nose. Do you need to move your arms and legs some more? Give yourself permission to do so. We're going to do one more time. And lifting up into a baby cobra. Pause for a moment. Start pushing into your hands and see if you can come up into what might be called a high cobra. Open up your heart, create space, and then bend your elbows, coming all the way back down, and hold. Placing your hands under your shoulders, press up onto your knees, and then settle yourself back into a resting position or a child's pose, whatever you like to call it. Guys, don't fold your arms today. We're going to keep the elbows quite bent, fully supporting the forearms to the ground. Finding the weight of your pelvis. Relaxing into the back of your neck. And coming into some long, gentle inhales and exhales. And again, just giving yourself an opportunity to notice, how did that feel on your body? Did it feel good to go up into that full extension? Was it maybe straining you just a little bit more? And on your next breath, walk your hands out, pulling yourself up onto all fours. Just bringing your knees underneath you, but taking your hands quite wide apart. You're going to slide the right leg back. Lift the right leg up. Stay for a moment. And now step your right foot through between your hands. You're going to get a little turn underneath your left knee if you need. And then walking your hands up. So you guys know my hip flexor release that feels so good for me. You're just going to shift your body weight a little bit forwards and backwards. Take a wider stance if you need. Make sure that your lower abs are connected. And then bring yourself into the position that feels good for you, and you stay there. Keep the right hand where it is. Left hand comes down. We breathe in to reach up. And we exhale to float the arm down. 3 more, breathe in. And exhale, release. 2 more. So guys, if the hip flexors don't want to open up, it's going to be quite a big thing that's going to hold you back from doing the swan dive. So breathe, open up, and bring that left hand up. Stay here for a moment. Do a little bit of a side bend over towards the right. Stay here and let's do some gentle releasing. Two more. One more. Release. Placing your hand all the way down. Right hand down. And then just stretch that right leg all the way back. Long reach. And bring that knee in. Keeping your hands wide. Left leg stretches back. Lifting up. And now step your foot all the way through. Help yourself as you need, padding where you need, bringing your hands up to your knees. So again, remember your eye line focus is going to help you balance, along with core, of course. And just a little bit of a shift forwards and backwards so you start to open up that right hip. And then bring yourself into a position where it feels best for you. Right hand floats down. We inhale. And exhale. Two more. Allow three more. And exhale. Now two more. A little bit of tensioning. Last one. Reach up and hold. Do a little bit of a bend to the side and pulsing. Last two. Last one. Coming up, hold. Bringing your hand all the way down. Left hand down. Reaching your left foot all the way back. And bringing that knee all the way in. So walking your knees back a little bit. Bringing your shoulders in line with your wrists. Slow bend of the elbows as you come all the way down again. And we're going to go back into the same position that worked for you a second ago. So taking your legs nice and wide apart, giving me a little bit of ballerina turn out to engage the gluteals. Bringing your hands wide and maybe forward. And we're going to do a little bit of a prep of the swan dive now. So remember that you have a choice to just stay there if you want to. Lengthen and create space, coming up into a baby cobra first of all. Double check that gluteals are connected but not bracing. Pushing into your hands as you start coming up into your high cobra. Now you can stay here. Otherwise, keep your hands on the floor and just do a baby dive forward and up. And up. Squeeze your bum cheeks. Squeeze your thighs. Two more. One more. And hold. Bend your elbows, come all the way down. And once again, tuck your hands under your shoulders. Press yourself all the way up. And coming once again into a resting position. Giving your lower back just a little bit of a stretch and a release. So Margie, how did that feel for you? Right, so you're happy with that swan dive, the prep. Great. A few more moments here to breathe. Relaxing your shoulders, your neck, your arms. Long, full breaths in and out. And taking a moment here and then walking your hands backwards towards your knees. You're simply going to pivot so that you're sitting, knees bent once again, arms extended out. Take a breath in, go all the way down onto your backs, all the way down. And then letting your hands settle beside you, palms down or palms up. Walking your feet in. Now today, I want you to take your knees and feet quite wide apart, and you could even pivot the toes out so you're in external hip rotation, if that feels good for you. Pelvic curl. Tilting your hips back. Start rolling up into a bridge position. Stay here just for a moment. You want to make sure that you've got your pubic bone tipping backwards towards you, so you can really feel the gluteal muscles connecting, and then start to ripple down through the spine again. So you're getting a lovely mobilizing action through the lower back, and then releasing at the bottom. Move your knees and feet if you need. Let's go again. Tilting hips, rolling up. So the focus of this exercise is about finding that placement where the hips are open and the gluteals are engaging and supporting. Take a breath and ripple down through the spine. Nice and easy through your lower back. We're going to do 2 more. Tilting hips, rolling up, getting that lovely squeeze into the gluteals. Pausing for a moment. Take a breath in. And down through the spine. And on this last one, guys, we're going to stay up there just for a second. Take a breath. Tilting hips. Rolling up. A little bit of a squeeze into the gluteals. And now, start pressing your pelvis up just a little bit higher. So you're going to be still working with gluteals, but you're going to feel a little bit of a compression into the lumbar spine, and now an opening through the hips and through the lower abdominals. So again, this is just reminiscent of the connections that we need in our swan dive. And now start to roll down through the spine, feeling that wonderful opening into the lower back, and release at the bottom. Hug your knees one at a time into your chest, bringing both knees in, and then maybe a little bit of a rocking action from side to side, moving very gently. Hook your hands behind your knees. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. And then using your feet, a little bit of momentum as you kick. Rolling on your spine. So this is very much the counterbalance or counter pose to the swan dive, right? It's a rolling action, but we're rolling on the opposite side of the body. Let's take one more. Up you come and just balance here for a moment. You're welcome to close your eyes if you would like to find a little bit of a balance challenge. And then on your next breath, placing your feet all the way down and turning onto your stomach. Guys, we're going into the full exercise here. So this is the full swan dive. At any point, if you just want to go into high cobra, you go to high cobra. If you want to keep your hands on the floor and do the swan prep, you do the swan prep. Otherwise, see if you can take your arms overhead, and we're going to do 3 swan dives all in a row. You've got to keep the bum active, and you've got to keep energy and space through your joints. Place your feet, place your arms, find your starting position. Coming up into a baby cobra, pause. Pressing into your hands. As you come up into high cobra, you can stay here. Otherwise, we release and we dive. Catch and hold. Yes, and release down and all the way back. Tucking your hands underneath you, pressing all the way up. Once again, coming into your resting position. position. It was really nicely done, Monkey. How did it feel?
Just feel on that one side of my leg.
Okay, it was so quite low down when I felt, okay? So what might also help for you is taking your legs even wider apart. Stay for just a few more breaths in and out. And on your next breath, walk your hands forward, make your way up onto all fours. Rounding your spine just one time into a cat stretch. Moving your hips back halfway, and this time just adding a gentle trampolining. If you prefer to just stay there and breathe, then that's perfect as well. Just bringing a little bit of hydration and energy and awareness down to the sacrum, the lumbar spine. Last two. Last one. Allow yourself to come forward, lengthening through your crown. Tuck your toes under. Let's transition to a downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands and feet, moving hips back. Do a little bit of pedaling with the heels. Press both heels towards the ground. Take a breath in. Soften your knees and walk your feet halfway forward on your mats. Lining up your toes, walking your hands back. Go onto the tips of your fingers, soften your knees, and then completely surrender into this inversion. Give your head a little shake. No, 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 no. Nod your head. Yes, 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 yes. And then just make your head hang heavy as you stay here for 3 breaths in and out. And maybe if you're feeling pretty flexible, you can straighten your legs, which is going to intensify that release for you. And on your next breath, take your time as you unravel, coming all the way up into an upright standing position. Focus your gaze. Make sure you don't have a big head rush. Rolling your shoulders back and around just a few times. And then just allowing your arms to settle. You can soften your gaze. Take a moment to observe your body weight on your right foot and your left foot. Observe the balance between your front line and your back line of your body. Notice the energy lifting up through the crown of your head. And notice each breath as it moves through you, each inhale and each exhale. Taking one deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale through your mouth. Blinking your eyes open. Giving your hands and your knees and your feet a little bit of a shake. Well done. Feel okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Even though I'm going to hate station, it's always like a church.
Yeah, exactly.